You all must be wondering about this case that I have my crochet hooks inside of. This case right here is a case that I got for pencils all the way back when I was in college, and I won't say how many years ago that was, but it was a long time ago. Um, it came from, I think it was Hobby Lobby all those years ago that I got it from. And when I started crocheting, I decided to put my hooks in here because I don't believe in wasting anything. And rather than spending more money to get a new case, I decided to just put them in here. It works well, except I'm often afraid that my hooks will fall out when I turn this upside down, or that my hooks could get damaged because there's nothing covering the actual top of the hook. So what I'm going to do is add a piece of scrap fabric from another project on top of here and sew it all the way across. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to leave about 5/8 of an inch on each side so that I can fold it under. And I'm just going to cut here with my handy dandy scissors. And I really do love these Fiskars scissors more than anything because they're easy on my hands and they don't cause my joints to swell. And I'll try to leave them linked down in the description box below. And I also have them linked in my Amazon shop. So you can go and check that out as well. But I'm going to just go ahead and cut this. And I'm not being exact. I left a little bit for each side for that seam allowance. And I'm just going to fold it under and then stitch it on here so that it's on here and probably go across the top. And right now I have my Kenmore set up, so that's the machine that we're going to use for this. Let me make sure that's straight. I didn't get that exactly straight. And I think that this is 2 layers of fabric. I think that I like the 2 layers of fabric. I think it gives it something extra just to have a second layer. It's not a must-have, but it's just what I like. So we're going to go ahead and sew that on here. And I think I'm going to take the hooks out of here just to make it easier on myself when I'm sewing. By the way, how y'all doing today? How y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good. Just had quite a bit of work to do today before I got to record anything. But that's all good. Let's see. I don't even know if this pencil case or pencil pouch is still sold by Hobby Lobby, but that is the information on it right there. It's been so many years ago that I strongly doubt that they still have it. And I did use some magic markers to write on here the different hook sizes. But I think I'm going to just tear this off or cut it off. And to cut that off, I'm going to use a different pair of scissors and not my fabric scissors. Okay, let's go ahead and go over to my sewing machine, which is set up in another area. Alright, I did have to briefly turn you guys off so that I could switch rooms and get to my sewing area. And I don't know what size needle I have in my machine at the moment. I think it's a 14, but I can't be for sure. That's what I'm going to use because I don't feel like changing out my needles. I'm lazy. Yeah, it's a size 14 needle. And I think I got my tension turned up too high from the last thing that I was working on. always ends up being the Kenmore that I end up leaving threaded up. Because it's usually the easiest to work on. Though I have many more sewing machines, this Kenmore is what I end up gravitating to for some reason. I think I like it. I don't want to say I like it the most, but I like it nearly the most out of all of my machines, and that's saying a lot. Some of my other machines I'm thinking about selling, simply because I don't use them as much, and this machine needs to be clean. There's dust all over it because the other project that I was doing kicked up a bunch of lint. All I'm doing is just closing these ends so that when I sew it onto the bag, it'll already be done, and I'll just put another line of stitch in there. Okay. And no, the Kenmore is not the fastest of all my machines. It's probably the slowest of all my machines, but I still like it more. And you say, why? Well, I like it because I just like it. I don't know why. It's something about the way that it stitches. There's just something about it. I can't really put my finger on what it exactly is. There's just something about the way that it feels to me when I sew that I really enjoy. And this is not wanting to do because I am using the incorrect needle. But it still is going to do what it does without a problem, even though I'm not using the correct needle. Let's see. And I don't need to finish my edges at all because I'm using a selvage. Now on the back here, it would have been better if I had, but this is not going to be seen because it's going to be stitched down to the bag. So let me see that bag, which is behind me. Clip it on here with some Wonder Clips. How did people survive without Wonder Clips? I have no clue. I know beforehand I was just using some clothes pins to do it, but these Wonder Clips are so much better because they're smaller. Alright, so I'm just going to use one line of straight stitching. Stitch this down, and I'm probably going to need to increase my tension on my machine to make this work. thick right there because there's multiple layers of webbing underneath there. So I'm going to have to hand crank just a little bit. And I'm just going to pivot and stitch straight down this side, and then the other side I will sew down because I forgot about that. It's thicker over here because there's multiple layers of webbing, so I think I'm going to increase my tension a little bit more. And this would get through this without a problem if I was using the correct needle. But I just didn't feel like rethreading the machine just to do this little small project. Okay. And me, I'm not really caring about how it looks on the front. You can see the stitching right there. I could have changed out to a gray thread, but I really don't think it matters that much for this. Okay. So now I'm just gonna sew down this side and we'll be done. And then we'll go back in the other room and I'll go ahead and put the crochet hooks back in here. Alright, we're all done. I don't think I need to make any other line of stitching on here because that would just be overkill because this is just a flap to cover up the hooks. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the video part of this and go ahead and walk back into that other room so that you can see the final result. I think this is pretty good so far. Alright. The 5 is missing because I'm actually using that one right now on a project, and it's in my project bag. And we can't forget about my hero hooks. I'm going to go ahead and get that. This is like one of my favorites. Put that here. All right, so I think that turned out pretty nice, and it didn't take me that long to do it either. So here we go. And I might can, even now, since I have it like this now, I maybe can move my hero hook here. Let's see. In order to do that, I would need to unpick this. I think I'll leave my hero hook there. And I could probably put a pair of scissors in here, even, and maybe some, let's see. I can probably put a pair of scissors in here and maybe a tape measure. But for right now, this is looking pretty good. And I think this pencil case turned out well. And I actually like that the selvage is left here. I think it looks nice. I wish I would have left a little bit more space on this side by not cutting so much off. But I think that is fine. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with it. And my hooks are not going to fall out. So I think job well done. Well, that's all for today for this. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video and that maybe you got some inspiration to recycle materials rather than throwing things away, or rather than going on Amazon and ordering a new case, you can simply use a pencil pouch. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.